We grind, we hustle, we put in 60-hour weeks, exerting massive energy, only to look up and realize we have zero forward momentum. When we stall, we usually blame our own willpower. We treat life like a flat, open field, where pure physical force is the only requirement for progress, as if the only missing ingredient is a harder push. The standard advice is to think ahead, but trying to outguess an infinitely complex world by mapping every possible future is a recipe for paralysis. Strategy has little to do with predicting the future. To a Grandmaster, the board is a closed system of resource allocation. Every square carries a specific value, and every movement across those squares requires a defined, depleting resource cost. Escaping the noise of the daily grind requires a shift in focus. You have to stop trying to break through walls with sheer effort and begin auditing the invisible logical forces that actually dictate your environment. In a dead-end job or a stalled investment, we often agonize over finding a clever angle to salvage the situation, assuming a good move must exist if we just look hard enough. Chess defines this as Zugzwang, a state where the mere obligation to act ensures your downfall. In this position, the rules of the game themselves turn against you. Every legal move results in a worse position. Searching for a better tactic inside a state of Zugzwang is a waste of finite energy. You are looking for a solution within a logic that has already calculated your loss. In a game, you are trapped by the squares. But in life, the board is simply the set of constraints you have accepted. If every move within those constraints leads to a loss, the win comes from identifying the system itself as the obstacle and seeking a different set of rules entirely. Recognizing a no-win system early allows you to preserve your capital. Instead of bleeding out resources trying to fix a broken environment, you can redirect that energy toward finding a new architectural reality. We live in a culture of constant alerts. Clearing an inbox, solving a minor crisis, feels like true productivity, but it usually masks a lack of real movement. At high levels of play, momentum is tracked through tempo. A tempo is a single isolated unit of time, one move. Reacting to external demands hands your momentum to a competing force. When an interruption forces you to divert energy just to maintain your current standing, you are playing your opponent's game. You are down a tempo. The alternative is developing, investing units of time strictly into long-term growth while ignoring low-value immediate alarms. Developing builds internal leverage that does not rely on external permission. Commanding the tempo forces the surrounding environment to adjust to your actions. You stop chasing trends and start setting the conditions that others have to respond to. Controlling the pace of action transforms time into leverage. When you dictate the sequence of moves, you dictate the final outcome. We naturally protect what we've already built. High-paying titles and established routines provide a layer of immediate security that feels like success. The fear of intangible loss creates a psychological barrier. It is difficult to trade a guaranteed, tangible asset today for an abstract advantage that may not materialize for years. A strategic sacrifice requires the deliberate deletion of a valuable tool to secure a larger structural victory. The Grandmaster knows that even the most powerful piece is a liability if it blocks the path to the endgame. Every asset is a tool with an expiration date. If a current title or habit prevents you from reaching a goal 10 years out, it is no longer an asset. It is a bottleneck that must be discarded. Strategic power relies on the discipline to prioritize long-term dominance over the short-term comfort of possession. You accept the temporary dip to unlock the winning trajectory. The environment follows its own internal logic, unmoved by human effort or emotional stress. The board does not respond to how much you care. It only responds to the logic of your moves. In an era of noise, the clearest signal is the one you create through disciplined strategy. You move from the chaos of reaction to the clarity of a designed plan. Success is the result of managing resource allocation, momentum, and calculated sacrifice. It is about seeing the structural reality beneath the surface-level friction. Master the architecture of these intangible forces. This shift allows you to navigate the world as an architect rather than a piece being moved by forces you don't understand.